Have you ever noticed how a tiny detail can steal all the attention? In the midst of BTS's perfectly coordinated appearance, one small difference worn by Kim Taehyung suddenly became the center of discussion. A simple belt, yet powerful enough to spark widespread curiosity among fans. In the circulating video, BTS members present a clean and cohesive visual concept. From colors to outfit cuts and overall styling, everything is designed to create a strong sense of unity and group identity. However, within that harmony, the belt worn only by Taehyung stands out as a striking contrast. This difference becomes even more noticeable because no other member wears a similar accessory. There are no additional elements to balance it out, making the belt the sole point of distinction. In highly conceptual visual productions, such a contrast rarely appears without a deliberate purpose. As public attention grows, viewers begin to examine this detail more closely from various angles. The belt does not appear briefly. It remains consistently visible throughout the video. This reinforces the impression that it is intentionally included as part of the overall visual design. The lighting in the video further enhances this detail. With stable intensity, every element is clearly visible without being overwhelming. The belt maintains enough contrast to draw attention while still preserving the overall visual balance, naturally guiding the viewer's focus toward it. The steady camera movement also ensures that this element is never missed. Whether in close-up shots or wide frames, the belt remains clearly visible. No angle hides it, suggesting that its presence has been carefully considered within the visual composition. This phenomenon highlights how attentive viewers have become. What initially seemed like a simple detail has evolved into a widely discussed topic. Each scene is carefully analyzed to confirm that the difference is consistent and not merely a result of perspective or coincidence. Interestingly, there are no changes to this element until the end of the video. The belt remains in the same position without adjustment, reinforcing the idea that it is a fixed part of the concept rather than a temporary addition. So far, there has been no official explanation from the agency regarding this difference. Without clarification, public attention remains focused on what is visibly presented, turning this small detail into an ongoing subject of discussion. Over time, interest in this detail shows no sign of fading. In fact, more viewers revisit the video to re-examine its consistency, frame by frame. This repeated observation strengthens the belief that the element is part of a carefully planned visual strategy. From a conceptual standpoint, introducing a single contrasting element within uniformity is often used as a subtle focal point. It directs attention without disrupting the overall composition. In this case, Taehyung's belt appears to serve exactly that purpose. Moreover, the absence of variation among the other members further amplifies its impact. With no competing details, the belt maintains its position as the primary visual highlight from beginning to end. From a technical perspective, this consistency reflects a high level of production planning. Every aspect, wardrobe, lighting, and camera movement, works together to ensure the detail remains visible. This suggests that each visual decision was made with careful intention. Ultimately, without an official explanation, this small detail opens the door to broader interpretation. The curiosity it creates becomes part of the viewing experience itself, leaving audiences anticipating how this intriguing element might be revealed or explained in future content. As the discussion continues to grow, many viewers begin to connect this detail with broader patterns often found in visual storytelling. In productions like this, even the smallest elements can carry layered meaning, inviting audiences to look beyond what is immediately visible. Some observers interpret the belt as a symbolic marker, possibly hinting at a role, theme, or narrative direction that has yet to be fully revealed. While this remains speculative, the consistency of its presence encourages such interpretations to emerge naturally. Others focus on the possibility that the detail serves as a visual anchor. In a composition where everything appears uniform, a single contrasting element can guide the viewer's eye and create a focal point that holds attention throughout the sequence. There is also the perspective that this difference enhances memorability. In highly polished group visuals, individuality can sometimes be subtly emphasized through minor distinctions, allowing one member to momentarily stand out without disrupting the group's cohesion. Interestingly, the simplicity of the belt itself contributes to its impact. Because it is not overly elaborate, It blends into the overall styling, while still maintaining enough distinction to be noticed. This balance between subtlety and visibility makes it even more effective. As more fans engage in discussions, comparisons begin to surface with previous visual releases. Viewers start to question whether similar techniques have been used before, and if so, what meanings were eventually revealed from those instances. The absence of immediate answers also plays a significant role in sustaining interest. When a detail is left unexplained, it naturally invites ongoing speculation, keeping the audience engaged long after the video has ended. From a creative standpoint, this approach can be seen as a way to extend the lifespan of a visual release. By embedding a point of curiosity, the content continues to generate conversation and analysis over time. Some viewers also consider the possibility that the detail is purely aesthetic, included simply to add variation within the visual composition. Even so, its consistent emphasis suggests that it holds at least some level of intentional significance. The role of repetition cannot be overlooked either. By ensuring the belt remains visible in every scene, the production reinforces its importance, subtly signaling to the audience that it is worth paying attention to. In addition, the clean and distraction-free background further amplifies the prominence of this detail. With minimal competing elements in the frame, even a small variation becomes highly noticeable. This kind of visual strategy reflects a deep understanding of audience perception. It demonstrates how controlled composition can influence where viewers direct their attention, even without explicit guidance. As conversations expand across different platforms, the detail begins to take on a life of its own. It becomes more than just part of the outfit. It transforms into a topic, a theory, and a shared point of curiosity among viewers. Over time, the meaning of such a detail may evolve depending on future releases or explanations. What is now seen as a mystery could later become a key piece in a larger narrative or concept. Until that moment arrives, the belt remains an open-ended element, quietly present, consistently highlighted, and continuously inviting interpretation from anyone who chooses to look a little closer.